Here we have another rebuilt Clipper number 51 brush drive system. This is the second one that I have done. You've probably seen my other video, which I will link in the top right corner. My first video on a rebuilt brush system that I did. This is a left-hand drive unit. You can see here the pulley is on this side. And the first one that I did a video on, it was driven from the opposite side. There was a couple of things that I missed on that last video that I wanted to go over in this video. One of the first things I wanted to address, which I did go back and fix this in the last video with wording, this bolt in the center of the crosshead slide is actually a 9/16 diameter bolt. Originally I said it was 1/2 inch, but I was wrong. It is 9/16. So I wanted to correct that. Another thing I wanted to note is that we are also now making these wooden tracks. I believe I said that in the video, but here you can see our brand new wood tracks installed on the unit. And we have a track on both the top and on the bottom. We have this so that once one side is worn out, usually this bottom wears out first, you can flip the track over and use the other side. So you can remove your brush system, flip the track over, and you have a fresh side to start on. So that's going to be standard. Another thing I wanted to note is the wear on some of these crossheads. I'm going to show you how they wear and things you can do to minimize the wear. So here I have two worn crossheads. I wanted to show you how they wear. This one was allowed to, the crosshead slide was allowed to get sharp on one side. I don't know if you can see that. It's thin there as compared to the other side. Thin at the top. So what happened was that turned into an edge and it just kept rubbing in there. That should have done, this should have been replaced. And it just kept rubbing and eating away at this sidewall here. You can see when I put the fresh one in that it has caused excess wear right here in particular. You can see there's a gap, okay, on that right there. Whereas on this one, you can see that it still fits tight. Okay, so if you're not checking your crosshead slide and it's sharp like this, it's going to cause wear to the crosshead and ruin the crosshead as well. Another part that you want to watch is the bottom of the crosshead that rides here. You can see it on the fresh one we have installed. This one here is worn down to almost nothing. This crosshead is designed, if you catch it before it gets this bad, it's designed you can flip this over and you have a fresh side on the other side, and you could actually install it with the slightly worn side towards the top and the fresh side towards the bottom, and it's like you're starting over and you're getting new life out of the same crosshead. So that's something you can do to help save your crosshead on this brush drive system. You can flip it over and let it wear on the other side that is fresh. At the time of making this video, I am currently working on getting new sources for these crossheads and the crosshead slides. I do have several used ones in stock that are still good. So we can still supply parts for those if yours are shot and need replaced. We can help you get them. Another thing we did on this rebuild, we took the time to drill all the way through this board and use carriage bolts to securely bolt these 3/4 pillow blocks in place. Because one thing we have seen with others in the past is, because they were originally just held in with lags, if the tension gets too much, I've seen this rip out of its foundation. So we took the time and we drilled all the way through and we used carriage bolts to bolt it into position to give it more strength and rigidity. One last thing that I wanted to show you, I learned this while doing this rebuild. There is brush systems out here that have different shaft distances. So the distance from the center of this shaft to the center of this shaft is 15 3/4. The last brush system that I did, it was 14 3/4. So what this means is it's going to affect the amount of links of chain that you will need when buying my upgrade kit to replace the old detachable link chain. So this brush system actually took 52 links, including the attachment link, and a half link, because it had an extra 1 inch distance between the shafts. So far I have found them to be either 14 3/4 center to center distance or 15 3/4. What I will most likely do going forward is add a couple of links into my kits so that you can add them if you need to, and if they are not needed, they could be discarded. But I just wanted to show you with this old frame here that we took the parts off of. You can see it. You can see here where they mounted it here versus where they mounted it on this one. So if you're out in the field and you're working on this brush system, you may run into that. I wanted you to be fully aware, and hopefully this video will help you. If it does, please give me a like and subscribe. Thank you very much for watching.